You get off the pose and you're like, okay, so today, what did I say, Thursday?
Thursday,
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday,
September.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we're 9 days out.
September 30th.
Oh, we've got lots of time. Because when you're already ready, it's so easy. Like just right now, my weight's been like dropping back down. So now I'm back to where I was when I was like 2 or 3 days out of the Arnold. So that's good, that's on track. I just did my first check-in this morning. You guys just saw a second round of posing and I'm way leaner, look way better than I did before the Arnold, which I definitely think is probably due to hormones and water retention because like I said, I did get my period a couple days before the Arnold and then I did feel kind of watery and puffy, but you just do what you gotta do, you make the best out of it. Still happy with the Arnold look, of course. I think it was one of my best looks. But I'm really excited because Olympia is just going to be so much better now that I already look this much better and I still have 9 days. So yeah, that's the plan. Yesterday we did a little bit of a higher carb day. Today we're going to do another higher carb day, even higher than we did yesterday. And then we'll go back down to a couple of low days and throw in some high days in between based on how I look, where my weight is, and how I feel. So now we're going to take some Burn HG. We're going to go do our cardio in the garage. And then we're gonna eat, get started with client check-ins, and get started with the rest of the day.
What's going on?
Oh, you know, just cruising, just doing my morning cardio. Today on the elliptical, so as you guys can see, we have a little bit of a cardio setup. This is the arc trainer. There's a recumbent bike, I never use that. There's a treadmill. Sometimes I do treadmill on like a high incline on a brisk walk. And then of course Stairmaster. So usually I like to switch it up. I'll do, in the morning I do an hour of cardio. So I'll do 30 minutes on one machine, 30 on the other. Or if I just am comfortable, I'll just do 60 on one. But that's the plan, morning cardio. So first things first, we do our check-ins. I go through my check-ins. I come out here, I do my cardio. And then I was just getting caught up on some messages, some thank yous. And I wanted to do an Instagram story, just kind of recap what my judge feedback was from the Arnold, because of course I'm the one who got the in-person judge feedback, and I think it's helpful for some coaches who are doing reviews and recaps of the Arnold to know what the actual feedback was versus just having, of course it's their opinion, right? So I don't think people realize my front pose was a different one because it's such a small change. Instead of that twisting so much there, it was more relaxed. So my waist looks a little bit different because of that. Whereas some people might just be like, oh, how come Jen's waist looks different in the front pose without knowing my front pose was changed. So I basically just explained like what was changed in my front pose, why we changed that, why it better suits the bikini criteria, and that my feedback was, this is the front pose they want me doing, continue doing that. And then a lot of people were wondering, you know, what was your feedback overall? I know someone had said that I came in flatter in the evenings, and I don't take offense to this, it's just someone's opinion, I was just restating it. They said I came in flatter in the evening show and they thought I didn't look as good in the evening, but the judge's feedback was actually that I was much improved in the evening and I won the evening show. So just to put that out there, because I think it's helpful to know what the judges are looking for and what they see and what their criteria is. Because to someone else, they might say, you know, Jen looked better at prejudging, but the judges had said to me, bring your evening show look to prejudging at the Olympia because you looked better at finals. So I think it's helpful to share that information. I just did a quick story post on that, and then we'll do a recap here of feedback and stuff like that. Maybe we'll do like a whole feedback video just so people understand what the feedback was. And then I was just gonna show my difference in pose from when we had changed it before the Arnold, just so people can understand why I was changing it and why that suits the criteria. And I think it's helpful, so yeah. I actually have to wear a sweater today during cardio because it's kind of chilly out here. Usually it's like 100 degrees in here.
Yeah, look at this beautiful view.
Pam olive oil spray, egg whites. And do 200 grams of egg white. Day in the life with this annoying person.
Day in the life when she elbows me. Ready? Elbow me.
Day in the life with this annoying guy.
So this is meal one.
This is meal one. We'll put some mushrooms in there. Where did my spatula go? Stop, go away. And then everything but the bagel seasoning. I like to put a little bit of this on for flavor.
This stuff you'll cut out usually like a week before, or?
I always use black pepper and this is just Himalayan pink salt. Usually I don't travel with this, so a week prior we cut it out. And then I always do 2 grinds of this. You guys know I travel with this exact one. But this is really just like poppy seeds, sesame seeds, garlic, dried onion. So sometimes garlic and onion can bother your stomach a little bit. It's so minimal here that it doesn't really bother me too much, but I just cut it out about a week out just in case. So probably tomorrow I'll stop using it. I was doing about 30 to 40 grams of carbs. Yesterday we did 60 grams of carbs to do a little bit of a spike, and then I dropped about 1.5 pounds. I look really good today, just a little bit flat today we find. So we're gonna do a high day today of 100 grams of carbs. I know it's really not that high, but I'm a small person, and then probably bring it back down to like a moderate amount, like maybe 40-50 grams for the next couple days before we start to load again going into the show Thursday, Friday. But again, based on how I look every day, so it's not like there's a set plan that we have to do. Kind of like how I was talking about last time, we decided to not load me so much. So with the whole loading thing, again, it's just meaning like an increase in carbs from what I'm used to. So if you're someone who does 0 grams of carbs, loading for you might be 50 grams of carbs. If you're someone who eats on a regular basis 150 carbs every day, loading is probably going to be at least, you know, double or triple that. So usually 2 to 3 times the amount of carbs is what I do to load with, and it's just based on how I look. So if my weight is dropping down and I look still kind of flat, then we'll just fill it out. Usually for me, the easiest way to see if I'm flat or full is my shoulders and my glutes. My glutes are always pretty full anyways. So usually we look at my shoulders. If my shoulders look like they're popping, they're full, we know I'm plenty full enough. If I'm flat, my shoulders will look a lot smaller. So that's really how we judge how much I'm gonna eat. But I have a feeling we're probably gonna have to fill out a little bit more, with a little bit more food this time.
It was a very close competition with 3 of the best, bikini pros in the world. And like Jen said, like we knew that coming into this, that both of those girls were coming fully loaded. So they both were incredible, and we knew that with Jen, it's like, and like I mentioned before with bikini, it's like that splitting that hair between fullness, because Jen has a beautiful shape, which I feel is superior of the 3. The roundness, the shoulder to waist, the glutes, hamstrings. And they came in to condition, which is not what they're looking for in pro bikini at this level. So maybe when Jen is a little bit fuller, and when I use the word fuller, I mean when she has a little bit more glycogen in her muscles, the lines are a little bit sharper, there's a little bit more pop, and I think that's what we were missing at the Arnold. Even though she won, I know she can be better. And there's some other variables like, that were happening, like human nature. Today's check-in was actually better than she was on stage.
Yeah, they have it.
Yeah, today's check-in was actually better than she was on stage for the win, and I know Jen just keeps getting better with show after show.
So in comparison, this was about 5 days out of the Arnold, and this is 9 days out. So you can clearly see, I mean, my tie-ins, my hamstrings, everything is just a lot leaner and harder looking. Like it's a lot more depth to the muscle. The tie-ins are more pronounced and sharper there. And again, it's just one of those things with hormones. You really can't do anything about it. You can't control it, because it's one of those things that if you hold water in your period, then there's no point stressing about it, because it's just gonna make it worse. So I did notice I was holding a little bit of water. Usually my waist just feels kind of like puffier. It's not like super like sharp and thin. But it's funny because when I had mentioned that to Tyler after, he said, no, your waist was fine. And I said, yeah, I think my condition, my waist was a bit off. He said, no, it was perfect, it was fine.
I also think it's you knowing internally, like,
I think it's like a 1% difference, and only I can notice it because I'm so overly critical of my body, and I know what I do look like. But I think on stage, all the judges' consensus was that my waist was fine. It wasn't an issue, and that was the front pose they wanted. So they were happy with conditioning and everything in the front pose. Conditioning and fullness, he said, in the front pose was fine. So I think it's just in my head, but I still want to improve on that for the Olympia.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do cream of rice since we're doing a higher carb day. I'm gonna do 30 grams of carbs from cream of rice, which is about 37 grams of this one. I'm just guesstimating how much water, so hopefully it works out. since we're gonna do some higher carbs, Glyco HD, 2 caps of that. So Glyco HD is a glucose disposal agent, GDA, and that's pretty much gonna help with just better glucose uptake, shuttle the carbs to the muscles, gonna help with more fullness and nutrient partitioning. So just making sure that the carbs are going where we want them to and being utilized as best they can. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be with like just a high carb meal. I think it's great to use if you're gonna have like a cheat meal or like a higher carb meal. You know, if you're gonna have like some donuts or something like that, for sure take it just to help your body really like partition those nutrients properly as best it can. But when it comes to like every day, I use Glyco every day as well in my off season too. So if you are having carbs in your meals, you can benefit from having it. I would say at least like 30 grams of carbs per meal to have it with, but it doesn't have to be like a high carb meal necessarily. You could just take it twice a day with 2 of your highest carb meals. Oh, it did spill a little bit, whoops, it's okay. Yeah, so usually my off season, I have like, you know, I might do whole eggs with egg whites. I'll either do oats or cream of rice. Usually I prefer oats just because I like the texture, and then I'll do berries with it or some type of fruit, bananas, berries. I like to do like sugar-free syrup or like some almond butter in it, or sometimes I'll just mix it all together and make like a big pancake with it with oats and egg whites. But obviously close to show, it's just keeping it super simple and cut out a lot of that because I'm not eating that much calories or carbs. So just super simple right now, but I definitely cannot wait to add back in some extras, some goodies.
How many clients do you have
in total?
Yeah, in total and daily.
I think I have about, right now, I want to say 80 to 85 clients total. And I split it up, so like this is like my spreadsheet for the week. So I have different clients on different days. Usually I have anywhere from like 10 to 15 clients Monday through Friday each day. And then Saturday, Sunday, I don't do check-ins just so I have those days to myself, just to have a little bit of time off as well. And then with traveling and stuff, usually shows are on the weekends, so that's easier. So Monday through Friday, I do all my client check-ins. Usually I do them first thing in the morning. I do my cardio, make my breakfast, sit down and do some work. And then, are we going to Crystal's later?
I'm going to Crystal's at 11:30.
Okay. That means it's gonna go at 12:30.
So where are we going?
We are going to Crystal's. The shop's at Crystal's. It's in the Aria. It's like a high-end designer shops and stuff because I gotta get my sis a birthday gift. I'm getting her a matching belt, the same one that I have. And we need to replace my bag that was left in the Uber. So we need to go to Louis Vuitton for that.
Here we go.
Here we go. We were actually just here yesterday. Shake Shack is right there.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished. We got my sister her birthday gift. So my birthday's on October 7th, which is next Thursday. And obviously my sister's my twin, so it's her birthday then too. And her and my mom are coming to see me finally. I'm super excited to see them. I'm probably gonna bawl my eyes out when I get to see them finally. But yeah, she's coming on Friday to Orlando to see me at the Olympia with my mom. And I got her her birthday gift. It's in the back, one of these bags. So I'll surprise her with that when she gets there. And then we replaced my purse. I actually ended up getting a different one because, funny story, when I was choosing that black like chain kind of bag, it was like a smaller one. I was deciding between 2 different bags and I honestly was so torn between the 2. And I chose the bag that I had before, the Vauvan chain wallet. And then after I was like, oh, should I have gotten the other bag? You know, I really love the other bag. It's so different. I've never seen anyone have it. And it's like a really like hard to get bag. So I was like, should I get that one? And then I ended up like keeping the one that I had and lost it in the Uber. So I ended up getting the different bag this time that I almost got last time. So it's kind of worked out. I mean, I got to have that bag for a couple months and now I have this new one. So yeah, and then we're just looking for outfits and planning out what we're gonna wear for Olympia. Got some Starbucks, just finished Nitro Cold Brew, and then we are outside Dragon's Lair right now. We are gonna go train some legs today. Today was a higher carb day for me, so this morning I did carbs in meal 1. Meal 2 I did ground chicken and rice. Meal 3 I just ate in the car, just literally like chicken breast. And then after this we're gonna go home and eat chicken and rice again, and one more cardio session tonight. Let's go. A little bit of quads, a little bit of glutes today. So we're gonna start with some leg extensions. Not going heavy because again, I'm not trying to build my quads, just to bring out those details because the judges do want to see a little bit more details in my legs. So we're gonna do some leg extensions to start and then we're gonna move on from there. So first things first, leg extensions.
Energy levels like right now.
Honestly, well, those clothes. The shopping took it all out of me because we were walking around there for a little while and just like, when you're like very low calories and like you're really lean, it's just like any extra activity that I'm not used to just like literally exhausts me. So like just being out and about shopping and like walking around and then now to train, I'm exhausted, but we gotta get it done. And the sooner we get it done, the sooner we get to go home and eat and relax. So it is what it is. It's okay. We're almost there.
What's next?
I'm just deciding right now if I want to do like a Bulgarian split squat with a dumbbell or if I want to do it on a Smith machine. I do like doing it on the Smith machine, just like a split squat, kind of like a pulsing split squat, or even like a curtsy lunge is really great to do it. So I think we're going to do that today. We're going to do that. To wrap, you guys, quick little workout. It was 45 minutes.
What time is it?
My legs are pumped. 7-Eleven, like the gas station.
Nice.
It's kind of late right now, but it's okay. We're gonna go home, eat, feed the dogs, and then have a little bit of work to do. And then my last cardio session, and then we're gonna watch a Marvel movie.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. Just feeding the dog.
Feeding the dogs, and then feeding myself.
Are you ready, Chino? Whoa, who you
That's a yes.
You ready? Are you?
Later than I want to do cardio, and then my goal was, but it's okay, we gotta get it done regardless of the time. We got a little bit caught up today shopping, and then we were training a bit later. So 9:16, gotta do this cardio right now. So our elliptical is being synced out of order, but sometimes it'll randomly work. How did we do that?
Clear 99, enter.
I brought you some food.
Well, that's great.
I was at Hugo Boss, Louis Vuitton. I got hungry. I said, what would Mariah want to eat right now? Bread pudding? I got you, girl.
34 seconds in, we're not even a minute. Oh my
The agony.
gosh.
How many minutes to go?
I actually did extra this morning, so I gotta do 50 minutes right now. But I'm gonna start tapering my cardio because in my check-in this morning, I actually look a lot leaner already, and the goal is to have that leanness but with the fullness. And I did look pretty flat today, so we are doing a higher carb day, so I'll see you tomorrow. Once I hit 125, I'm just gonna start to taper my cardio down. Today I was 126, and that's kind of where I was sitting a couple days out of the Arnold. So once I hit 125, we're just gonna maintain and cruise into the show, because any lower than that, usually I just don't look that good because I get too flat and too small looking, and I lose that roundness, that fullness, especially in my shoulders. So hopefully tomorrow we'll wake up at 125. I'll taper my cardio because right now I'm doing an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening. Low intensity, it's not high intensity cardio, it's just like an incline walk or a light arc trainer. Sometimes I do stairs, but again, it's not really going at a high pace there either. So it's low intensity, steady state cardio. If I wake up tomorrow around 125 and we're happy with how I'm looking, conditioning wise, we feel like we're on point, I'm gonna bring my cardio down to 45, and then I will keep tapering it down from there as we go into the show to reduce it to no cardio the last 2 days before the show. So regardless, usually my peak week, what I do is I've talked about it a couple times, but I'll just mention it again. Generally, if I'm doing, let's say, an hour in the morning, hour in the evening, just to split it up. Once I hit the Monday of my peak week, I'll bring that down to, you know, Sunday or Monday, 45 a session, and then I'll bring it down to, you know, like 30 minutes a session, so I'm doing 60 total, and then I'll just do, let's say, 30 or 40 minutes in the morning, and then no cardio Thursday, Friday. The reason why I stopped my cardio, Wednesday's my last cardio session, just because usually Thursday we're running around a lot with athlete meeting, meet and greets, check-ins, all that kind of stuff, so I'm a lot more active than usual. So it's just extra activity that I'm doing anyways, a lot of walking around the hotels, the venues, so I don't really need that extra activity, but also to reduce the inflammation in my legs that I might be holding on to any water from the cardio. I'm not doing intense cardio, but still, I do tend to hold a little bit of inflammation from the cardio. So by cutting that out after the Wednesday, it gives my legs Thursday, Friday to just dry up any inflammation there. And to be honest, once you hit your peak week, you should really be ready at that point. You know, by the Monday, Tuesday, when you're about to fly out, you should be ready. If you're not, you can push it for a couple more days to try and deplete any body fat, but realistically, you're not going to do a ton of magic in those short period of times. When you're at the Thursday and you're 2 days out, like, your goal should not be depleting body fat. You should already be at your body fat that you want to be at then. The goal should just be filling out, reducing stress, reducing inflammation, getting good sleep, and lots of rest. So I don't think it's worth the trade-off, the payoff for inflammation versus fat loss. I really don't think you're going to get much fat loss out of it on the day before the show. So I don't really bother. Thursday, Friday, no cardio. Friday, no training, just rest. Why are you laughing?
Look at my girl working. Look at my girl working.
Bedtime.
Do you usually eat this late?
I don't really have a specific like cutoff time for when I stop eating. It just depends on when my day starts and ends. But it's just protein powder, so it's not like it's gonna like get you fat if you eat close to bed. I actually prefer to eat my meals closer to when I go to sleep, just so I'm not as hungry and I can actually sleep better. So it depends person to person. Some people feel uncomfortable if they eat and go to bed. Some people feel better and get a more restful sleep if they eat and go to bed. So I don't think it really matters. I've always eaten close to bed and I'm fine, so.
People think they're gonna get fat. They're like, oh, I don't eat carbs after 6 p.m. I'm like, why? They're like, I'm gonna get fat. I'm like, no, you're gonna get fat because you don't train or don't train hard. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And do you always use almond milk?
Depends. So this will probably be the last day that I use the almond milk, and then I'll cut that out. Usually I cut that out the last week or so, and I'll just switch to using water. And then I do usually cut out protein powders as of like 5-6 days out, just to get rid of any bloating that might be coming along with it, being obviously derived from dairy, even though it's going to be virtually lactose free being a whey isolate. But I do cut it out anyways and just swap for egg whites or chicken. Great.
What new protein flavor do you want to come to HD Muscle?
I feel like a mint chocolate chip would be really good because I love mint chocolate. I'm thinking of those mint chocolate chip ice cream sandwiches.
You're crazy.
You know what I really love is like white chocolate peppermint, like the bark. So like maybe like well, I guess that's mint chocolate again. I don't know what else I would want.
Get people to comment what protein.
Yeah, the blueberry muffin was really good. The maple waffle is amazing. Vanilla's great, chocolate's great, chocolate peanut butter is great. Actually, I really like strawberry flavored protein powders because it ends up being like super creamy tasting.
Yeah, I like
so like a strawberries and cream flavor would be good.
There's four new flavors coming later this year.
You know what would be good? Like a tiramisu flavor.
Ooh.
That'd be great. Or like a mocha flavored, cafe mocha. Sometimes I actually do this, and Mark has this like instant coffee, so sometimes I'll take a little bit and sprinkle it in and then grind it up, and then it's like a mocha chocolate flavor. That's really good. Okay guys, this is a final texture. Wow. Wow. Wow.
That looks good.
Thick. Great. Okay guys, so that is it for today's full day in the life. You guys saw my morning routine with my check-ins, my cardio, some shopping, some meals, some training, and that's what my days look like right now. Pretty much just eat, sleep, work, and train, cardio, and then eat and sleep again. So pretty routine lifestyle, I would say, especially being this close to show, just because I want to keep everything as consistent as possible. So nothing too crazy, nothing too fun, except for the shopping that really wore us out today. So that's all for tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in, and make sure to comment below certain things that you want to see for the next few videos that we're going to do. If there's certain day in life things you want to see, full day of eating, you know, how I cook my meals, how I meal prep, you know, maybe when I'm meal prepping to travel, I can show you guys how I do that and how I pack my stuff to travel, because I get asked that a lot. But comment below whatever you guys want to see and we will make that happen.